I redid it. So
Oh gosh.
this is the one that I remade, which
Oh, it was your heart, not the butterfly.
it was the heart. And I tried washing. Actually, I'll pick it up and show you. I put it through the washing machine eventually, but I couldn't get rid of the pencil marks. You have to see, this is the one I put through the washing machine, so you can see how bubbly it is.
Uh-huh.
I can still see the lines, but
Now,
I had a friend today who couldn't see them until I pointed them out.
I think that is generally the case when we're so close up to things, we see things that drive us crazy.
Yes.
But once you take a step away,
Yeah. I think, I mean, I can see it with the light shining through as well. Whereas with this one, I did it the way I should have done, which is tearing the backing paper off before I started quilting.
I was going to ask you, what exactly were the lines drawn on in the first place?
It was drawn on the tearaway stabilizer, so it was my grid lines, and I left it in, and I should have taken it out.
Okay.
So for this one that I've used to replace it, I took it out and I drew the lines much more faintly as well. And then I just machine sewed the grid lines on, and it's worked perfectly. So I just need to finish off the binding because I like to hand sew my binding. So
I know.
so this is actually it's going to be a present for my sister whose birthday it is in a few days' time.
It's actually
Um,
beautiful colors.
yes, let me just get it from under my furry friend here. This is a much paler one than the first one. It's just pale, a very pale teal.
Uh-huh.
Um, and the background, I don't know if you can see, it's got little sort of teal flecks in it. It was fabric I picked up in France when I was there in the summer. Well, you know, the fabric over here is about 16, 17 pounds a meter for quilt fabric. And I
Yeah.
found a fabulous shop in France that their quilt fabric was €6 a meter, which is less than £6. And so I came back. I only had carry-on luggage on the aeroplane, and that was absolutely jam-packed full. But I was staying with friends who were driving over, so they took a whole suitcase back and posted it up to me. So I'm using up some of that fabric, but I'm really pleased with this. I finished it. Well, I got this far today, so I'm happy with it.
Beautiful. So for everybody, okay, 16, the exchange rate was about 1.3. For everybody in the US, can you imagine paying 20 to $21 for a yard of fabric?
Yeah.
That
It is expensive. So every time I've been over to Canada or the States, I've come back with as much as possible. And then this place in France, it was a gem of a store. It was one of those places you go into and you think, wow. And then you go, oh, there's another room. Oh, look, there's another room. And it went on and on and on. So, but yeah. So I'm very careful with my fabric, but I do have quite a stash, I have to admit.
yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Well, that is beautiful work.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it.
Good.
And I've got the tree that I was doing last time. I took off, get off. Ugh, she's a lump. Go on, off you go. I did the quilting. I took the quilting from the Ocean Dreams
Uh-huh.
it round,
Beautiful.
but I need to do a little bit of work. I don't know if you can see it down here. There's sort of a gap.
Okay. Yep.
So I'm just going to fill that up with some circles or something, and then just do something simple around the edge. On
Looking
yours, I know
good.
you've got lines in all these squares, but I'm not going to do that. So,
It's
uh,
actually pretty easy to,
yes, it was. I was just thinking, there's so many of them. They're only an inch square, and if I don't get it exact, it's going to, slip off. And I just thought, no, I'm just going to do some round the edge, and I might just sort of frame the squares rather than
Uh-huh.
try and fit them all in.
Like just
So
stitch in the ditch.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
just to finish it off. But that's my, I'll finish this one first. I've got some actual work to do, and then I need to finish that one off.
Well, your work involves sitting in front of the sewing machine anyway, right?
Does, yes.
So,
So I can actually, what I have been doing is with things like this, I set the machine, this machine going, and then doing my work on the other machine because I have one chair and I can swivel between one machine and the other.
mm-hmm.
Uh, but it takes a lot of concentration to be working, I find, on two things at once. So
Yeah. Well, one of the nice things about With All My Heart is that there's actually a fairly, there's not that many colors, and they do stitch for a
yes,
decent amount of time so that you can set it stitching and then do something else
yes,
whilst
yes.
it's
But
busy.
I have been doing that. So um, yeah, but I was say I need to do some work to get more pennies to buy more fabric.
I think there are probably quite a few of us who could relate to that.
Yes.
Well, that's beautiful. I'm glad that you have figured it out. Did you finish quilting the other one before you washed it?
Yes. I mean, I got to this point because I was thinking, right, what am I going to do? And then I realized that the marking was showing through. I washed it by hand first, and it didn't make any difference. And then I used a fabric bleach. It's an oxygen bleach, which doesn't damage the
Hmm.
fabric. So I thought that might lift it, and it did a bit. And then I thought, oh, I'll just stick it in the washing. I put it in a laundry bag and stuck it in the washing machine because I thought can't do it any,
Right.
couldn't, it could only make it better. So I think I will finish this, but keep it for myself. I think maybe taking a steam iron to it will make it look a little less crinkled. Um, it hasn't
You'd be
shrunk at
amazed.
all.
I think you'll be amazed if you just trim it up,
Yes.
how much of a difference that will make. What kind of stabilizer were you using in there?
Oh, I don't know. It was one that I bought on um Amazon, sort of comes in a 30-meter roll.
Okay.
So no idea. It's a tear one. But it's not as fine as the one we used down in Devon. That was
Okay.
quite a thin one which tore easily. This one is a bit more robust. So I think
Okay. Slightly heavier. Because
yes,
one of the reasons why I love to use the OESD Ultra Clean and Tear is that it's not a water soluble stabilizer, but it will disintegrate over time and a couple of washes.
right. Well, I think I'll have to do that. And when I bought that other roll, I'd done a price comparison, and of course, the OESD stuff over here is again pricey, and this probably
Yeah.
came from China. So,
Yeah, I know that when I was in Devon, there was a conversation about using the Ultra Clean and Tear versus using the other stabilizer that I think Catherine wound up using because of the price difference. But for anybody else who is potentially going to land in the same situation, one of the good things about the Ultra Clean and Tear is that it would disintegrate in the wash, and so the pencil markings would probably disappear with it.
it's all a learning curve, isn't it?
It is,
I want to
yes.
do that again.
And the other learning part to this, in case anybody else missed it, is that when you do follow the instructions, I
Yes,
draw on the stabilizer and then baste it so that you can remove the stabilizer before you do the quilting because you can keep the basting lines intact. Then everything is
yeah,
good.
yes. And I can't think, but the other ones that I've done, well, I suppose because they're all dark backgrounds, I didn't notice it. And I can't remember whether I tore the stabilizer off. I must have done, for the, because when I did well, the one with you, the small one, but I've done the bigger flower pot one too. So I must have taken that stabilizer off before I did the quilting. because I
Well,
haven't
the
had that.
different on the 3D collection, you had background fabric on top of batting, and then you had the stabilizer.
That would be why.
Yeah, that would be why, because that one, the quilting and the applique happened all at the same time.
Right. That's why. Yes. I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, because this one, the
Yeah.
quilting is done afterwards.
But
Okay. Well,
when you want, anytime that you've got fabric and stabilizer, you want to baste the fabric and the stabilizer together. And then you want to make sure that you do eliminate the stabilizer from around the applique shapes before you do any quilting.
yes, I've learned that. It will, it's it's in the brain now. I won't make the same mistake twice.
Well, it's beautiful work. I love your colors. They just look so pretty. And it's good
I
to see
like
you
all
again.
the soft, I like the soft colors. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really pretty. So, okay.
Right, thanks.
You are welcome. Good to see you.